Hello and welcome, this is rooflemonger, and this video is just going to be a compilation of all the knowledge we now know so far after the big Mortal Kombat reveal event. So I'm going to be talking about all the gameplay details that we now know, all the roster stuff we now know, and some other miscellaneous information that we have learned. So first up, let's just do these rapid fire here. So for the gameplay, compared to Mortal Kombat X, armor is not going to be as prevalent. Not to say it's going to be gone, but it's not going to be as prevalent. Apparently, one of the main sources of armor now is just going to be from interactables. There will be characters that can still do it, but apparently the era of just everyone being able to armor off any given move, at least everyone usually had at least one in Mortal Kombat X, that apparently will be gone. Also, the 50-50s that were very prevalent in MKX, well, obviously not gone. You can obviously still 50-50 people. 50-50 into full combo is now going to be a much reduced thing. That was one of the main complaints of MKX, love it or like it, right? A lot of characters just had, flip a coin and guess wrong, full combo, right? And you can get a full combo off the overhead, or you can get a full combo off the low, so it didn't really matter. So that will be much less prevalent. This game is moving towards a slower, more neutral-heavy game. For lack of a better term, just a little more Street Fighter-ish than previous MKX was. A little more like MK9, minus all the broken stuff that made MK9 not really work that way. Now, also in that note, walk speed in MK11 is now the best it's ever been by a lot. Character walk speeds are downright respectable. Maybe not amazing, but respectable. But on the flip, and this is more in service of, making sure this game's a little more neutral heavy, there's no more running. No running, and conversely, no stamina bar. Dashing is now the way you're going to do it, and dashing is slower than it usually is in Mortal Kombat. That said, you can now dash block like you could in Mortal Kombat 9. However, dash blocking is not as strong as it was in Mortal Kombat 9. It'll be a little more anemic. You're not going to go as far. There will be a little more lag if you dash then block. So you're not going to be able to just kind of glide across the screen like you used to be able to. Also, since we mentioned no stamina bar, there will be no combo breakers. There is an evasive mechanic, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But there is no more combo breakers, and conversely, and this is not the biggest deal, and I kind of mourn its passing, honestly, but there is no more first hit bonus. The first hit bonus, usually in MK9, MKX, you get the first hit, you get a free bar, right? And the bar system is wildly different now, so it's not going to work that way. So now those are the quick hits here, so let's just talk about things in more detail. And since we mentioned the meter system here, let's just talk about how the meter system works first, and then we'll go into the other gameplay stuff. Now, if you look at the bottom of the character screen, as you can see, meter's different now, right? So the defensive meter is the meter going up, and the offensive meter is the one going across. Now, before anything else, I'm going to tell you right now, this is as per Ed Boon, so I think you would know, right? As per Ed Boon, they are not necessarily married to the system as it currently stands, so it may change and go back to a more traditional fighting game style meter system. It may not, right? But it's not necessarily this is 100%. That all said, all right? So now, first up, you don't build meter like a traditional fighting game. Meter regenerates on its own. That's it. So if you use all your meter, all you do is wait and it'll come back. It'll take a bit, it's not going to be like instant, but you just have to wait it out so that you don't have to worry about building meter and that stuff. It'll do it for you. This is definitely very much in the vein of they want you to burn meter and not just hoard it for, whatever, right? You're going to be encouraged to use meter all the time. Now, so the offensive meter basically lets you do EX moves, like, or meter burn moves or whatever you want to call them, enhanced moves, if you will, just like many other fighting games. The defensive meter will let you do air rolls. This is what the defensive mechanic we were talking about earlier. So like Injustice, you can try to attempt to air roll out of a combo, so not quite a combo breaker, but still, it's something. That will take both of your defensive meters, by the way. Also, you can attempt to do ground roll, like a wake-up roll, and you can do it forward or back, and it'll have slight invincibility, but it will not be invincible against throws, so you can get thrown out of it if you try to roll out while you're on the ground. Also, there is a universal wake-up attack, which is basically just an uppercut. So this will be basically like the invincible reversal, invincible wake-up dragon puncher or whatever. And it can launch, and you can get a small combo afterwards as well. Both these, the roll and the uppercut, will both take 1 bar. And the rolls, obviously, you can throw it out of them. And they did say some people's wake-up uppercut attacks will be not punishable on block, which I don't know if I agree with at all, but I guess I just don't have the context for it. But that's where it currently stands. Also, for all interactables will be using your defensive meter. So if you want to use an interactable, you will have to have a defensive meter available. Also, so now let's just go back to some other mechanics. We do have a perfect guard system here called Flawless Block. So very much like, you know, just defense like in Mark of the Wolves, or Perfect Block in Soul Calibur 5, or just many other systems. This is not a terribly unique system. Not to say it's a bad one, but it's definitely been done before. So my understanding of this is if you block within 3 frames of the move connecting, one, you will not only negate the chip damage, because chip kill still exists in this game. Unlike basically all modern fighters, Mortal Kombat is still not scared at all to kill you with chips, so you will die from chip damage in this game, so this will be important. So it will negate chip. Also, you will recover from your block once you let go if you successfully Flawless Block, much faster than usual, meaning moves that are normally not punishable on block will become punishable on block if you flawlessly block the move. So it will definitely become a very important thing of things that might be sort of brain dead and safe, might become outright punishable if you flawless block the move. Now also, any strings with gaps in them, it has been stated that as long as there's a big enough gap, then you will be able to basically unblock and reblock and flawless block inside the block string. If there's a tiny gap, you won't be able to do it, but if there is a large enough gap, you will be able to do it. Now onto the crushing blow system. So every time you've seen a quick zoom in of like an X-ray style move, then zoom back out, that is a crushing blow. So everyone has anywhere from like 4 to 6 crushing blow moves. All the crushing blows are once per game, not per round, per game. Although say you do an uppercut style crushing blow, you can still do everything else, but only one of each successive one per game. Now they all have different triggers, so consider this not so much like crush counters in Street Fighter V, but more like lethal hits in Soul Calibur 6. Everything has its own specific keyword that'll trigger it. So for Baraka, this is one I specifically know. Baraka, his base uppercut will trigger into a crushing blow, which will do more damage, have better combo ability, if you do it while the opponent is missing, like whiffing, a high attack. So basically, a hit will go over his head, and then he'll uppercut him, and then you're just going to get a lot more damage. Now, that's just one specific example. Everyone has their own caveats. It could be quite simple, as in it hits as a counter hit, or it's the first move of the round. If it hits successfully twice before, they have all sorts of caveats and all sorts of ways to trigger them. And it's going to depend move to move to move what it is. Now, also, in the options menu, you will be able to set a command to manually trigger the crushing blow, meaning you successfully have gotten whatever the requirement is, and then a secondary input will then trigger it. So if you don't want to burn your 1 per game thing just yet, you can save it for a little bit later. This might be important if you, like say the enemy is going to die anyway, so you don't want to burn your big combo ability crushing blow on them just yet. You can save it for the next round. And this stuff like that. So that will be an option if you do want it. Otherwise, it will just automatically happen as soon as possible. Now, going on to Fatal Blows. So you get your Fatal Blow when you're in your last third of your health bar. And effectively, these are Street Fighter 4 Ultras, like straight up. The only difference is, just like Crushing Blows, they are once per game. Not once per round, once per game. You use it, that is it. Absolutely, you're done. So these are very big damaging moves. They're armored moves, although the armor does not start up on frame 1, just so you know. So you can be hit out of it if you're just going to wake up and go into it. So somewhat avoiding the Street Fighter 4 Wake Up Ultra problem. But as you can see here right now, they do a lot of damage, very long and elaborate animations. Some of them are a little too long for my taste, honestly, because it kind of kills the game flow. That's just personal opinion. But yeah, so they are effectively supers, X-rays, whatever you want to call them. The traditional X-ray, as it always stood, is no longer in the game. The Fatal Blow definitely takes place of it. So it is your big ultimate attack. You definitely have to respect someone who has it up. This, I guess you could call it your comeback mechanic, as you can definitely get a much bigger damage combo than you normally could without this, right? So if you are gonna lose, you might as well attempt to give it a shot in the combo, or if you're feeling really sassy, do it raw. But keep in mind, just don't throw it out, because it's a one and done deal. You throw it out, That's it. That's one per game, right? I do believe if you whiff it, so it doesn't connect in any way, shape, or form, it will regenerate. I'm not 100% certain on that, but if it connects, it is absolutely a one and done deal, so you better believe in it. Now, we still have even more to cover yet. There is a short hop system very reminiscent of King of Fighters. So itself is not too complicated. Basically, just tap up instead of holding up when you're jumping, and you'll do a short hop. And you can do attack from there. So all the attacks will be overheads. You do punch or kick, it doesn't matter. It'll always cause a splat, meaning the enemy will always just immediately go down to the ground. You're not going to be able to combo in full off a short hop, unless perhaps it's a variation thing. Now, one thing here about short hops. So short hops will go over low attacks, and they will evade throw attacks. So it also has a good defensive reason to do it, versus just the full jump. And short hop attacks, as far as people have seen in the early build here, short hop attacks are not safe on block. Due to the fact that they already have some defensive properties built into them, and the fact that, these are going to be very fast overhead attacks that will lead to a knockdown, and you can create pressure from that. So these will not be safe on block, just so you know. And on gameplay, just as a final little miss thing, I don't notice a lot of people noticing this myself, but hey, just look through all the footage as you've been watching it. Mortal Kombat 11, Mortal Kombat has hit sparks now. On block or hit, there's just little hit sparks, not big obnoxious ones like Tekken or anything, but yeah, they're there. Some people have complained that there's not a lot of hit impact or whatever. I never agreed with that personally, but if you want to hit sparks, hey, Mortal Kombat has them now. So now with that done for the gameplay stuff, I do want to go over the roster real quick here. So our confirmed roster as it currently stands is Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Baraka, Scarlet, Garros, Sonya, and Shao Kahn as the pre-order bonus. But we basically have soft confirmation on quite a few other characters. Kung Lao is in the story mode trailer, shown behind the scenes look here. And not only that, we have Revenant Kung Lao fighting old timeline Kung Lao. Much the same here for Liu Kang. Liu Kang's in the behind-the-scenes trailer, and so is Katana, and so is Cassie. Now Cabal basically was spoiled there. A quick little shot of him saying, please tune in the Combat Cast on the 30th. Kano might be in. He's definitely in one of the background stages. The underground fighting pit. We don't know for sure. Rain, he's shown here. Quick little screenshot on one of the main menus. And Johnny, if you look real quick here on the behind-the-scenes look, you can kind of see Johnny in the background. And also, he's a background character in one of the stages. The background picture shows him as kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, like maybe a fatality cutscene. It definitely is not just the normal, 2D fighting look, right? And also, we have this right here where Sonya and Garros talk about Johnny.
I will kill Johnny Cage.
Do it. He's a pain in the ass.
You bluffed poorly, Sonya Blade.
So, assuming that is all correct, that is 17 of the 25 character slots shown that we have available kind of spoken for. Now, going back to, briefly I mentioned Ed Boon had an interview. The interview, he did mention that Mortal Kombat X definitely has more newcomers than Mortal Kombat 11 will. And Mortal Kombat 11 is sort of focusing on characters that kind of have not had their time in the spotlight a little bit, which would definitely explain, like Baraka, Cabal, and like characters like that. They definitely, skipped Mortal Kombat X. But yeah, so basically expect less new characters. Like we have Garros, we have Chronica, who we don't know is playable yet, if she's going to be a boss-only deal, cinematic-only deal or not. I hope so, and if so, then that would make her basically character number 18. Maybe one new character besides that, but yeah, definitely he inferred expect less new characters and more returning fan favorites that now haven't necessarily had to turn that bat in a little bit. And that's the end of this video. So that's everything we currently know roster-wise, gameplay-wise. Definitely a slower paced game, much more neutral-heavy game, which I am all for, personally. I'm a very neutral-heavy player. I pick characters that generally want to thrive in the neutral. I don't really like coin-flip rushdown characters of the like, or gimmicky characters. If it's true that it's going to be returning favorites I haven't had to turn at bat in a while, I would love to see Sindel come back. Because as a fan of the story modes in MK9 and X, especially 9, Sindel was pretty cool. She killed basically everyone, right? Anyways, that's it for me, so thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Mortal Kombat.